So dear children, let's continue the activity 2.4. So one more question is there. Is ink a single substance or it's a mixture? So is ink is a pure substance or mixture? So what is your answer, children? It's pure substance ink? No, it's a mixture. So the answer is a mixture. So we find that ink is a mixture of a dye in water. So ink, it's a mixture of dye in your water. And thus we can separate the volatile component, that is solvent, from its non-volatile solute by the method of evaporation. So with the process of evaporation, we can separate the volatile component. So the volatile component is a solvent. So here the solvent is what? Water. So the water, it is easily vaporized when we apply heating. And another one is non-volatile solute. So the non-volatile solute is a ink dye. So that will not vaporize when we heat it. So by this process, we can separate the ink dye. So what is the process, children? Yes, evaporation process. What is the application of this evaporation process? So these can be used for crude petroleum refinery. And crude petrol obtained from earth contains a mixture of various petroleum products like petrol, diesel, LNG, Vaseline, etc. So LNG means liquefied natural gas. And all these components have a different boiling point. So these components are having different boiling point. By the process of evaporation, we can separate it. So these difference help us in separating them. So it's having the different boiling points so that we can easily separate the component. And separation of your metals from its alloys in metallurgical industries. In metallurgical industries also, the separation process of metals can be used. By the evaporation, the metallurgical industries, the separation of metals from its alloys is also takes place by the process of evaporation. And next, separating process. So how can we separate cream from milk? How we can separate? So nowadays we get full cream, toned and double toned varieties of milk packed in poly packs or tetra packs in that market. So we can get the various creams, double toned and poly pack and tetra packs in that market. So these varieties of milk contain different amounts of fat. So that everything will having the different amounts of fat. So how we can separate that? That we will discuss in that activity 2.5. So for that we have to take some full cream milk in a test tube. So we have to take full cream milk in the test tube and centrifuge it by using a centrifuging machine for 2 minutes. So we have to centrifuge it. So it's a centrifuge apparatus. So in that we have to put the test tube and we have to centrifuge it for 2 minutes. And if a centrifuging machine is not available in the school, if you are not having the centrifuging machine, You can do this activity at home by using a milk kernel used in the kitchen. So with the help of milk kernel, you can do this activity. So this is a milk kernel. So with that, if you put the milk, and when we do the rotation process, so with that, so after some minutes the separation will takes place. And if you have a milk dairy nearby, visit it and ask. You have to ask how they separate cream from milk. You can ask them. And how they make cheese, that is paneer, from milk, you can ask with that. And what do you observe in that experiment? So what do you observe on kerning the milk? What do you observe? So the process kerning of the milk separates them into skimmed milk and cream at the top. The cream, it will be in the settle at the top, and skimmed milk, it will be settled at the down. So with that we can separate the skimmed milk and cream. And next question is, explain how the separation of cream from milk takes place. How the separation takes place. So components of a mixture may have different densities. So the mixers of the components are having different densities. So when such a mixture is shaken vigorously, lighter particles separates from the rest and float on the surface. So when we do the centrifugation process, the lighter particles separated from the rest and it will float on the surface. And milk fats are lighter than the rest of the mixture. The milk fat, it will be lighter, so it will be settled at the bottom. As a result, when we shake milk vigorously, milk fat separate and start floating on the surface. So when we shake the milk vigorously, the milk fat, it will be separate and the floating starts on the surface. And sometimes the solid particles in a liquid are very small and pass through a filter paper. For such particles, the filtration technique cannot be used for separation. Such is separated by centrifugation. So sometimes the particles cannot be separated with the help of filter paper. So for that, we can use the centrifugation technique. The principle is that, so what is the principle takes place? The principle is that the denser particles are forced to the bottom and the lighter particles stay at the top when spun rapidly. So when the centrifugation takes place, means the heavier particles are settled at the bottom and the lighter particles are settled at the top. An application. So what is the applications of that centrifugation tubes? The centrifugation, so it is used in diagnostic laboratories for blood and urine test, and it is used in dairies and home to separate butter from cream, and used in washing machine to squeeze out water from wet clothes. So these are the applications of the centrifugation techniques. And next is separating process components. So how can we separate a mixture of two immiscible liquids? So how we can separate the mixture of two immiscible liquids? Further, we have to go for activity 2.6. So in that, let us try to separate kerosene oil from water using a separating funnel. So for that, we have to take kerosene oil from water. Its two liquids are immiscible liquids. The kerosene oil and water are not miscible liquids. So let us try to separate kerosene oil from water using a separating funnel. So this is a separating funnel. So in that we have to put the kerosene oil and water. So pour the mixture of kerosene oil and water in the separating funnel. So we have to put the mixture of kerosene oil and water in the separating funnel, and let us stand undisturbed for some time so that separate layers of oil and water are formed. So we have to, after when we add the mixture on the separating funnel, we have to keep it away for few minutes. We no need to disturb that. So at that time, there is a separation will takes place. So the heavier densities of the particles, it will settle at the bottom. The lighter particles, it will be settled at the top. So from that we can easily separate the mixtures. So open the stopcock of the separating funnel and pour out the lower layer of water carefully. So first, that is the lower density of water, it will be settled at the top. So we have to open the bottom. So open the top of the clock. So when you open it means at the top only the water is settled. So we can easily separate that water and close the stopcock of the separating funnel as the oil reaches the stopcock. So and further we have to close the stopcock of the separating funnel as the oil reaches the stopcock. So this is the separating funnel. It's a stopcock. So in that bottom, so the water is there. Why the water is in the bottom? Because the density of water is higher. The kerosene density is lower. So when we open the stopcock, the water will come first. And when we close it. And further we can separate the kerosene oil. And what do we observe in this activity 2.6? So water is heavier and sinks at the bottom. So the water is heavier than kerosene oil. It sinks at the bottom. So when we open the stopcock, the water separates out from the kerosene. So when we open the stopcock, first the water particles are comes out. So when we separate from the kerosene. And explain how the separation takes place. Okay children, so this question we will discuss in the next slide.